for genocide.
It's a shameful thing to see useful European idiots wearing terrorist symbols like this keffiyeh, which was used by Yasser Arafat to demonstrate for intifada. Disgusting.
We've just been called fascists, we've been called...
Zionism is ethno-supremacy fascism.
He just went back to say this useless sentence in this reporter's face. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another segment in which we're talking and reacting to pro-Palestinian protesters knowing absolutely nothing. Yeah? Buckle up, get your IQ levels up. They're gonna go down. Let's take a look.
I support Palestine action.
We're not interested in talking to fascists.
It's a shameful thing to see Jews standing for genocide.
They've also taken their direct action to parts of the Jewish community.
I'm not doing this anymore. Goodbye.
Palestine action. Activists or terrorists? That decision will be made in the
Useful idiots.
building behind me by members of parliament who will be voting on its prescription. Palestine Action is a group engaging in what they refer to as direct action. In reality, this translates as little more than smashing up buildings, vandalizing community property, and spraying red paint everywhere. A lot of these pieces of direct action have taken place in heavily Jewish areas and even in Jewish businesses, understandably striking fear in the heart of the community. Campaign Against Anti-Semitism has called for its ban under the Terrorism Act and given the Home Secretary a dossier on the group. The final straw for the rest of the country came recently when the group broke into RAF Bryce Norton and vandalized a military aircraft. So I'm here to speak with members of the public and find out whether they think Palestine action is activism or terrorism.
Useful idiots.
Sounds like they should be banned, to be fair. Yeah.
Sounds like they should be banned. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Shocking rise in anti-Semitism especially since October the 7th, 23.
Do you support their move to ban them as a terrorist group?
I do, yes.
The Home Office is investigating the possibility that Palestine action is being funded by Iran. When I tell you that, what's your reaction?
Not surprised.
They broke into an RAF base, RAF Bryce Norton, and they vandalised a British military plane.
Right, that's not good because obviously I'm a UK taxpayer, so I'll end up paying for that as well. So,
would you support the ban on Palestine action?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah.
Does it concern you that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is potentially funding a domestic group to carry on doing God knows what?
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable that if they do continue it and they can raise money, then there'll be a terrorist attack in London just to show disapproval of what's going on. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a good possibility, which is obviously saying I don't want to see. So,
Palestine Action is a wonderful group that's doing really important work that we should all be very proud of, and it's a disgust and a disgrace that the government officials here think that they can call them terrorists and stop the important work they're doing. They've harmed no one, and they're trying to stop the genocide that this government and my government in the United States is complicit in.
Well, if they're doing it in Jewish communities and they're harming Jewish businesses, and that's a problem.
So there's been part of the reason that there have been calls to ban them as terrorists is one, in recent days, they broke into RAF Bryce Norton where they vandalised a military aircraft. They've also taken their direct action to parts of the Jewish community.
I'm not doing this anymore. Goodbye.
Oh,
You're doing this?
what a loser. Bye-bye. You're showing your true face.
No, I just read your microphone.
We're against anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I don't need to.
Are you against anti-Semitism?
Even his wife is laughing at the situation. His wife is laughing at the situation. Oh, he turned around. Look at his wife. That spin that he just did.
I'm against anti-Semitism, but anti-Semitism has been used as a tool and a cudgel by pro-colonization, pro-Zionists to disparage people who just want to stop the genocide and the colonization of the land of Palestine. And Zionism is inherently violent.
Can you tell me how the Jews can be colonizers if the Jews are descendants of Judea? How can they be colonizers? If somebody can answer in the comments, please let me know.
and pro-colonization and pro-apartheid.
No apartheid in Israel. There's 2 million Arabs who have exactly the same rights. They can travel the same roads, do whatever they want, open businesses, get elected into government. Give me a break. No apartheid in Israel.
And it needs to end.
80% of British Jews identify as Zionists.
Good for them. Zionism is a disgusting ideology.
Just an ideology that says that you believe in the right of the Jews to self-determine in their ancestral homeland. That's all.
And it needs to end.
Does that mean 80% of British Jews are disgusting?
Wow, he's trapping him every single time.
Well, it seemed our friend from California wasn't so keen to chat.
It's a shameful thing to see Jews standing for genocide.
It's a shameful thing to see useful European idiots wearing terrorist symbols like this keffiyeh, which was used by Yasser Arafat to demonstrate for intifada. Disgusting. They're so stupid.
So we asked if we could speak with that person about Palestine Action. She was not so friendly. That's fine. It's just interesting to note how the subject of Palestine Action evokes a lot for people, and a lot of the people who have been supportive of the potential prescription have sort of been very, mild-mannered, very easy to speak to, very polite and very nice. A lot, if not all of the people who don't support the potential ban have been what I would say is quite aggressive.
Well, because one group is reacting out of an emotional perspective, that's exactly why they're on the Palestinian side, and one side is reacting from a logical perspective, and that's why they're on the Israeli side.
Do you feel that targeting an RAF base is right or wrong?
I think it's wrong.
Would you support Palestine Action?
I don't support that.
See, that's the thing. If people know it's wrong, they most likely will not support the Palestinian movement.
Because I think it's actually potentially also misrepresentative of what the Palestinians actually would do. There are possibly Palestinians out there that would also be against that action because they would see it as a form of violence.
Okay, this guy just lost me. No, they would not see it as a form of violence. They would probably say it's resistance.
That's interesting. So what Palestine Action is doing, could you say that that's actually a disservice to the Palestinian cause?
Potentially it could be, because it may actually misrepresent how some of the Palestinians actually feel in terms of how they should be managing this situation.
Would you support Palestine Action?
I'll say I stand with no. I don't think it's right. I don't agree with their actions. I think sometimes people use a name and a sort of organization and things that are going on to do stupid things. They just use it as an excuse to be a bit malicious in the name of good when they actually don't really care about what's going on. They just want to sort of provoke stuff.
I think I'll just take that off. There we go, and that can go in the bin. Okay, so I actually see some Palestinian flags right up there, and I think, let's speak to them, see what they think about Palestine Action. I'm from Campaign Against Anti-Semitism, and we're making a video about Palestine Action and their upcoming prescription. I saw the flags. I just want.
What's the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism? What's their view?
So our view is that they should be prescribed. We've submitted.
They should be prescribed.
Yes, that's our view.
You're immoral. You have no standing amongst the majority of people in Britain, and I don't want to talk to you.
Do you support Palestine Action?
I support Palestine Action.
It's always the same people standing there doing nothing with their lives. They're just bored. So they're looking for new trendy stuff to protest against. They have absolutely no connection to the topic. But because they're bored, they'll go protest for it. It looks like a whole family's there.
Goodbye.
You do.
We all do.
Will you say that? Will you say that after they've been prescribed?
You need to leave.
Will you support them after they've been banned?
We're not interested in talking to fascists.
Yo, the dude with the newspaper, we saw your face literally a second ago. What are you hiding? We saw your face. There it is. Your face is right there. So you think putting your newspaper right now is going to block people from seeing the disgusting actions you're taking? This is the guy, ladies and gentlemen. This is the guy.
Goodbye.
You do.
We all do.
Will you say that? Will you say that after they've been prescribed?
You need to leave.
Will you support them after they've been banned?
We're not interested in talking to fascists. Please leave. Supporting genocide, you need to leave.
I'm not supporting genocide. So as you can see, there's a very hostile atmosphere behind me. We've just been called fascists. We've been called.
Zionism is ethno-supremacy fascism.
He just went back to say this useless sentence in this reporter's face.
So we've had a lot of that. We've had a lot of that. We've been asked to move. We have moved, but now they seem to be harassing us. But there you have it. They don't really seem to be much up for talking. So I think we're going to move on.
Wow.
We spoke to a lot of people today, some nice, some not so nice. Those who condemn the actions of Palestine Action were happy to engage with us in a very nice, calm and polite manner. Those who support the actions of Palestine Action, however, appear to be just as extreme as the members themselves. The second they found out that we did not align with their values, they immediately unleashed a torrent of verbal abuse. And the irony of a Jewish man being called a fascist is not lost on me. Whether or not Palestine Action is a terrorist organization will be a matter for Parliament to decide. But I want to know what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe for more content.
In my opinion, they should be banned. No organization should vandalize anything for a cause. You can protest peacefully, but vandalizing is a type of violence. It's illegal, especially advocating for people using symbols that say intifada and say terrorism. You guys that take these actions, you're so unbelievably stupid that it hurts me. It hurts me. But I'm glad to see that the majority of the people in this video would decide to ban this organization. That's a good sign, because how could you allow such a group to be on your soil? Yes, it is democracy and people have the right to say whatever they want, as long as it doesn't put the country at risk. Palestine Action puts the country at risk. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I also just opened a Discord. You can join it in the link in the description. If you'd like to support me financially, you can do so through Buy Me Coffee in the description or become a member on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.